Hello, this is Sher from ducktutorials.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use the undo tool in Photoshop. Now, you may have come across the undo tool in a lot of other applications, such as a web browser. When you're surfing the internet, usually on the top left corner you've got a back button and a forward button, and clicking on the back button takes you back one place. Uh, just like those applications, Photoshop has a similar kind of system. However, the back button and forward button aren't in plain view. They're actually all hidden away in the edit menu option, and they are here and here. So this is the tool you use to go back one step. And as you can see, I've created an image uh, and made a number of edits on that image. So uh, these are all just random ed edits I've made using the paintbrush tool as well as the shape tool, and I want to get rid of all of these and return back to the original image. And I can do it using the step backward button, but before I try that, you'll let me try this one first, which is the undo tool, to see what happens. And I'll let you know that the most recent edit I did was that I drew this circle here. So if I click on undo ellipse, then it will undo that step, as you can see here. However, if I press that same option again, then it actually brings it back how it was before. And that is because this tool only lets you go back one step. Go back one step and then go forward that same step. It doesn't go back any further step. And if you want to go back further, then you have to use this option. So click on this, it goes back one step. Click it again and goes back another step. And I can carry on doing this like this. However, this can be a little tedious. That's why a better option might be to use this hotkey shortcut, which I'll do now. So I'll hold down Control Alt Z and keep doing that. And as you can see, the image is slowly uh, appearing, and the edits are disappearing. Obviously, if I could redo those changes by going to Edit and clicking Step Forward. In fact, let me just quickly show you how that's done. So it's Shift Control Z. So Shift Control Z, and as you can see, the changes are coming back into view. So let me. So that's how you redo edits, but let me go all the way back to the beginning by undoing all these random edits now. So I'll carry on doing that, and that's it. I can't go back any further. So these these items won't let me go. These edits that I've made are staying there, and I can't go back any further. And the reason I can't go back any further is because if you go to Edit and then click on Preference and then go to Performance, you'll notice that by default Photoshop is set up to only keep track of the last 20 changes. And if you've got more than 28 changes, then they won't go back more than that. So the obvious option here is that I can increase this to say something like 100 and click OK. And this should work fine. However, just bear in mind that the higher this you increase this to, the the more chance it will have in slowing down your PC, because if you increase this, then it means that Photoshop and your PC will need to keep track of more changes, and that may take have an impact on your PC's performance. So that's why just be a bit cautious about this. Don't increase it too much. Just increase it to the point where it doesn't impact your PC. So I'll click OK, And now, uh, from this point forward, it will track all my changes up to 100 steps. So I could go back up to 100 steps from this point forward. Obviously, it's too late for these now because I only made the changes just now, and all these things were done before I increased my history from 20 to 100. So I can't actually undo these. And in this instance, what the obvious thing you could do to go back to how it was before is close Photoshop, and if when you get a prompt saying do you want to save changes, click no. And what would happen is that it will take the picture all the way back to how it was when you opened it. In a sense, it takes you to the last point that it has been saved. However, a better way of doing that, let me just click no here for the time. No, I'll just click cancel. A better way of doing this would be to go to File and click on Revert. This has the same effect as taking as reopening, closing your Photoshop and reopening the image again in Photoshop, but without having to close and open Photoshop again. So it basically takes you back to the last saved instance of this document. So if I click on revert, they all disappear. That's quite an extreme way of doing it. Especially if if you've been doing a lot of work that you did want to keep, then taking this option would actually undo all those as well. So it's only there as a last resort. Now in Photoshop, as I said before, it's kind of tedious using the edit and going step back and clicking on the backward button multiple times. And actually, there's a better way of going backwards and forwards, and that is by using a panel called History. So let me bring that into view, and here it is. Uh, what it can let you do is see your changes as you make them visually. So let's start drawing some stuff, and as you can see, it's gradually building a list of changes you're making. So I'll just select the paintbrush tool. Okay, and as you can see, while I'm making all these changes, it's Photoshop is tracking all this through the history panel. And the really cool thing about this is that with the history panel, you could go back several steps with a single click. All you have to do is pick out the step you want to go back to. Say I want to go back to the brush tool, and as soon as you've done that, it automatically gets rid of all those edits I made. And in the same fashion, you could redo those edits. See? And it's just a single mouse click. And also, the history panel has a lot more other features that you might like to try out, and I'll cover them in a later video. Okay, now that we've covered the history panel, there is actually a more powerful way of working in Photoshop, and that is by using the layers panel. Layers is a really powerful concept in Photoshop. It lets you make changes to your work and apply edits in a non-destructive way so that you can easily go back and jump to different edits and make changes to them and delete edits in with just a few clicks. It's actually can be a real time saver and gives you more control in the way you do your work in Photoshop, and it's really can be of huge help when you're working Photoshop. I'll cover more about layers in a later video. So But just be aware for now that this can really make you more productive in Photoshop. Okay, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.